right. Waiting for permission. Nobody's coming to save you. The job is a lie. They told you trading time for money was the plan. The hard market myth. All right. Stop using the market as an excuse. Information's not the problem. You don't have a knowledge problem. And I'm going to get into that a little bit. The AHA mission, the Americans helping Americans, the comparison trap. Stop watching other people win. Your debt is not your destiny. Bad credit is not a life sentence. Midnight tonight, right? Tonight, there's going to be a decision. I'm going to go ahead and share something with you real quick. And that's going to be the American Mentee program. I should say the VIPexecs Accelerator. The VIPexecs Accelerator program is going to be shutting down tonight at 1997. And I'll be back at 6 p.m. I'm going to be back at 6 p.m. And I'm going to be sharing with you for the next 90 minutes at 6 p.m. We're going to go for about an hour and a half. And every word I say is a reason that number makes sense. Okay, so hold on tight. I'm going to go ahead and put something into the chat real quick and drop that in there. 1 second. Here we go. That's going to be for the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. And before I tell you about the AMP Live Accelerator, I want you to imagine something specific. And this reminds me of when I got my first check in real estate. When I got my first check, I built up. I spent 16 months of a bunch of time doing all this stuff and building out the plan and building out the business and building out the structure of how I wanted my business to be perceived. And then started launching and started doing business, right? Before I tell you about the accelerator, I want you to imagine something specific. All right, it's 90 days from tonight. You've been through the system. You've made the calls. You've had the seller conversations. You've run the numbers on real houses in your market. And one of them worked. I want you to imagine what that feels like. No, not the money, but the feeling of what it feels like. The feeling of calling your spouse and saying it closed. The feeling of depositing a check that you created without a boss, without a permission slip, without a bank's approval. The feeling of knowing in your body, not just your head, that you can do this and that you did do this. Now, obviously, I'm reading out the script and being honest with you. There's some of the stuff that I went through when I got started, with a lot of the no's and ridicules of family members and friends saying, hey, look, there's a house. It's all beat up. It's a tore down piece of shit property. You're going to leave your corporate job for some pipe dream and all kinds of other stuff, right? So I definitely get that. But can you imagine when that happens, when you have that check, your first check? I framed my first check, the first very check I got, right? And that feeling is what the AMP Live Charter, I should say the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator is designed to produce, right? Not just education, that moment, right? Now, let me tell you exactly what you get, the full value stack. And obviously, I'm going to get into that. I'm getting into all the modules, get into exactly what you're going to get for the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator this evening. But I can tell you a story when I got my first check, and it was on a property that I locked up in the high desert, and had a young man come out. With that young man, obviously, he was super young, still going to college. And when I having a conversation with him, I'm going, okay, he was just afraid of calling people because every investor that called said, man, you're too young. No, you don't have any money. He wanted to be my private money lender. I got money, bring me a deal and I'll give you some OPM, other people's money, right? And that's how it pretty much started. And I was like, well, okay, yeah, you know what? Let's talk, let's chat. I checked him out and all that good stuff. So he was impressed that I actually checked him out because he was like, man, nobody else really even gave me a shot, right? Because I was too young. They said next. Didn't believe that the young man had money, family money and all that good stuff. And it just spun his wheels. And I actually, with the positive mental attitude, I should say AMP, the American Mentee program, or, spelled backwards as PMA, positive mental attitude, resonating at a higher level of positiveness and no negativity. At the time, didn't let any negativity into my life. NMA, negative mental attitude, was wiped out. And if anybody who came to me with the negative mental attitude, I'd shut them down with positive mental attitude 3 times. If they didn't go away or adapt to my positiveness and I didn't kill them with the positive mental attitude, then yes, I'd walk away, disappear, and go, hey, we're good to go. Good luck to you. I'm moving on. And that's how I ran my life and continue to try to run my life. It's a little bit different now because you got so many people and a bunch of sour faces, a bunch of pissed off people. The administration, from the top down, just messes with people and their mindsets and just all the stuff they got going on with frequency. But I'm not going to get into any of that. Let me finish the story. So the young man said, hey, yeah, I got this property. Check it out. He looked at it, did the numbers. He goes, what do you need? This is how much cash we need to do a fix and flip. And we're going to rehab it. Got it subject to existing financing. And that was the deal. Then I'll even get into the story of the lady, which was pretty awesome. And, she ended up crying and a bunch of other stuff, but I'll share that in a second. And I'm only going to go for about 30 minutes, but I'll be back at 6 p.m. And I'm going to go into it for an hour and a half. I'm going to break everything down. I'm going to share everything that you're going to be getting in the Amp Life Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator. We're going to talk about everything and how it's going to help you change your life. I truly believe that at the end of the day, you just got to come aboard and work with us and go from there. But the story, the young man, is like, he said, hey, I got some cash. Cool. I said, no problem. Let's come on down, take care of the paperwork. And we started, once he came down to my little office, we started talking, chit-chatting, got to meet him and stuff and putting the paperwork together. He did get some paperwork from another investor or a family member or something, right? And almost made a mistake there because I looked at it, read it, said, that's cool. I was excited. Hey, this investor going to invest in my stuff. Cool. And this is awesome. And after I looked at it, even though I became a contract freak and a clause freak, I went ahead and said, you know what? Yeah, no problem. I signed it. But then I started reading it. I go, what the hell? This is not going to work. I'm like, going to sign over this deal to him. I can't do that. Because obviously he talked to some people and they're probably, a little bit more advanced or who knows, and scrupulous. And the young man may or may have known what was going on. And after I got his check and I signed the agreement, he took off, got his copy. And then by this time we're talking, we're putting stuff together, trying to figure out, hey, how we're going to work this all out. It was almost like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, close to midnight. He had to drive all the way from the high desert all the way back to, LA or somewhere. And I looked at it, I go, fuck, I can't do this. I got to cancel this shit. And I'm going, can I cancel? I said, well, yeah, I haven't deposited the check. Yeah, we signed the agreement. I'm not going to cash this check. I don't want this money. We need to cancel. And I did text him I think I called him several times. And then he finally answered, hey, what's up? What's going on? Hey, we need to cancel this. We're not going to do this deal. I'm going to, we already got a contract. I said, look, I'll just rip up the damn check, man. I'm not going to deposit it. I'll rip it up and I won't even move forward with the thing, right? All right, I'll be right back. I'm coming back. So he came back. We had to hammer it out. And that's when we put together an agreement that was beneficial to them and to us and all that good stuff and move forward. And that was cool, right? Because it was like, I got a check. Cool, man. And it's like, for the investing part. And then it's even better, like when you get the close of escrow and you close this some bitch and like, man, look, I got a check, and you're all proud and you take a picture and frame it and all that good stuff. So it's pretty awesome because when you get that first check or you get money from doing what you said you were going to do is an awesome feeling, right? And even like my first check was only like, I think $6,000-7,000 when I did I got a contract and sold it off. I did sell it off to my mentor at the end of the day, but and he was willing to buy it from me, which was cool because I actually went to the office and took a picture and shook his hand of him giving me a check. And this happened to be like a table closing. But what was funny with the young man, he was just happy. One with the young man is a different story. He was just happy that he had somebody that confided in him and that was willing to give him a shot, right? And at the same token, willing to give me a shot because I was getting started too. And the age difference was there. It's like, I don't care, man. I don't care how old you are, just as long as you perform, you got integrity, loyalty, communication, we're good to go. Let's do a deal. And he was happy as shit, right? So he became my private money lender there. And then obviously once you fixed it all up, put it back on the market and sold it, right? Then the awesome part was getting the check and cashing out. Also, I will share with you when I got my first check, when I did lock up a property and I sold it off to an investor, which was Hal, my mentor. And, that when I did that, like I said, it was $6,000-7,000. I was super proud. And even though, it was a little bit of time in between deals and between, work and paying the bills and raising the family and then, getting that check and going, okay, cool. Hey, check it out. Hey, you want to show it to friends and family, even though it's a small check, but, some people think, oh, it's just a fluke. It's just a fluke. Or to say, oh, it's only $6,000. Where's, you got more money coming in, come on, that's just not barely pay the bills and shit. Right. So, it just depends. It depends on how you frame it, right? You're proud of it, but when someone knocks you down, say, "Oh, well, shit, it's only $6,000. Is there more money? Where's more money? Where's more money? Oh, can we check out the cash?" And I'm like, okay, well, shit, I'm just happy I closed the son of a bitch, doing what I said I was going to do with all the processes and things that I put together. And it worked. So that was a beautiful time. So it's going to be the same thing for you, right? You're going to have that check. They're either going to be proud of you, or they're going to bullshit you and say, oh, okay, whatever. That's cool. That's awesome. Or they're going to clap for you and really be happy. Or you're going to, the bottom line is PMA, be happy for yourself that you accomplished it. And that's what's going to happen when you come aboard the Amp Life Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. You're going to cash those checks. You're going to get to the finish line. And most important thing is that you're going to be happy about that. And then the surrounding people, hey, they're going to cheer you on at the end of the day as well, or not. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Just keep on moving forward. Put your head down and grind. But I thought that was pretty awesome. And even one of the properties that we knocked down for a fix and flip, that property was a lady. She came off of our database. She called the number, speed the lead, called her back, went through the full submission as a submission, and filled out, and then underwrote it and said, okay, yeah, it looks like this is probably going to smash. I was like a SubTo deal. It's a pre-foreclosure, behind on back payments. No, I get stuff, kind of a tight deal a little bit, right? But we can make it happen with the SubTo deal. And we moved forward and end up doing that, right? Sitting there inside her house and the kitchen table and all that good stuff, and sitting down in the living room, which I don't like to sit down in the living room, but we did. We had to go through it a couple of times because she was just, other people were trying to snag her house and have her sign this and sign that. And she did sign some stuff and it didn't perform. This didn't happen. They didn't get the money. So she's really just beat up. And then, at the end of the day, crying and miserable and just wanted to move and get the hell out of California. And we ended up working it out and said, okay, cool. This is what we can do. We're going to go SubTo. We're going to make up your back payments. We're going to go ahead and give you some money. I'm going to buy some of your stuff here if you don't want to take it, because I know you're not taking the fridge and all this stuff. And that's what we came up with the waiver thing. We said, hey, we're going to donate this stuff to charity, or we're going to throw it away. But I need you to sign this stuff so we're not liable with it. And you can't come back and say, oh, blah, blah, blah. There's liability issues and doing stuff like that. But we got it, we got it all in writing, and she was good with it. And then when we executed, she got her check, took off. She didn't want anybody to know where she was at and didn't want her number given out. But I said, well, I'm going to need your number just in case. You can tell me where you're at. I'm not going to tell anybody. Don't really care. Just want to know if there's any overages or anything we have. If I have to send you a check, that was the way to do it, right? Then I need to know where you're located and where you're at. Okay, cool, no problem. And so she did. She gave us all that information, moved forward, fixed it, put it back in the market, flipped it. Then another scenario is where we locked up a property. It was pretty tight, but she did cry and she thanked us and all that good stuff. Once we got the property sold and shared it with her and all that good stuff, she was super happy. She got to move on with her life, a new chapter in life, and things of that nature. On another scenario, we actually picked up the property, same thing, very emotional. But this one's going to be more like a short sale. We're going to have to clean it up and then work on a short sale of some sort and go from there and work it out with the bank. Of course, we had put a package together and contracting and all that good stuff, because the house was thrashed. It needed a lot of work. The mechanicals were jacked up, front yard, backyard, all messed up. It was definitely a fixer-upper. But we went in there, negotiated, and then what we did to do it legally, obviously you can't profit on a short sale, right? So we had to put some legal maneuvers together to be able to go, here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a short sale, but I'm going to go ahead and buy your refrigerator. I'm going to buy your stove. I'm going to buy your little motorcycle. I'm going to buy this crap you got. I didn't say that, but it's literally this stuff inside the garage. Same waiver. We're either going to throw it away or donate it to charity. There was actually a car in the front yard as well. She goes, hey, do you want that car? No, it's a piece of shit. It's dead. I don't know what to do with it. I'm not going to take it with me. And said, all right, no problem. Of course, there was tons of trash all over in the front yard, backyard. Say, don't worry about that. Just we'll take care of everything, okay? Because we already knew that it was going to be a pretty decent spread, and we had some, I already knew what the numbers were, and said, hey, no problem. But here's where we're legally going to be able to help you out. So we did buy the refrigerator, all the junk and stuff in the garage, and yes, even on the car, I think it was like $200. Gave her $200 for the car, and then so we went ahead and got that done. Same thing, cut a check, moved on, legally able to do certain things and maneuvers within the confines of the law. And then basically with that car, here's the story. Here's the cool part. So we had someone in our office, a young man who was a runner, going around like putting up signs and, running contracts and agreements to different sellers, and just wanted to get involved in the business somewhat, and is willing to pay it forward that way. like I mentioned before, if you don't watch any of my other videos, is I needed an excuse to write you a check. If I write you, stick around for 30 days. If I'm writing you a check, stick around. That means if I'm writing you a check, we're making money. You're making me money. We're good to go. If you're not making me any money after 30 days, you got to go and the door's closed and good luck to you. We'll just keep rinse and repeating, right? That's what you call OPM, other people's OPE, other people's efforts in exchange, and hopefully they perform and you can cut them a check and, for their time and all that good stuff, right? And exchange, they learn. They have to learn to be part of the core, which is cool. But the young man is going, hey, what are you going to do with that car? I don't know. Call somebody up, because he more like started turning into like an assistant. I said, well, call up those companies and see if they'll come pick it up, see how much they'll pay $200 for it. See if we can get 5 or 6, make a couple of bucks on it. But we got to get it removed from the front yard because it's junk. We got to repair this house and we got to take care of the rehab and all that good stuff. So it's like, do you mind if I go check it out? I'm pretty good with this and that. And he did. He went and checked it out, and he goes, hey, it's running. The car runs. I said, it does? Because I just had to put a battery in it. I said, are you serious? So what do you? Well, still okay. So it runs. I still want it removed. What are we going to do with it? Can you sell it? What can we get for it? And he goes, well, my son needs a car. He's going to college for music and all this other good stuff. And he needs a car to go back and forth from work to college and stuff. And, I'd be willing to work it off or whatever I need to do or pay you. I said, I tell you what, man, you know what? Why don't you do this? Because I did tell him, I said, if you can get it running, you can have it and I'll donate it to your son. So you go, and so he did. He goes, yeah, it works. It runs. It fires up. Okay, so as long as it's out of the front yard, I'm cool. But have your son come to the office and I'll sign over because she did give us the pink slip to the house, the car and all that good stuff. Or I should say the title to the car and everything that we needed. And I said, come to the office, tell your son to come down. We're going to do a little photo op and I'm going to donate the car to him and all that other good shit. So he's like, yeah, no problem. So he did come on down to the office, did a photo op and all that good stuff and showed him to sign it over and, giving him the car and giving him the title to the car as a donation, which was cool. So you never know what's going to transpire with stuff like this, right? And you probably see people's videos and stuff like that. Where they go, oh, look at all the trash, or look at the rats, or look at the stuff inside the house, and we're going to give this away, or we're going to donate it, or whatever. And it's just part of the business. At the end of the day, they're not going to take it with them. They want a new chapter. They want to get rid of all that, bad karma and aura. Of course, I didn't want the car, and I don't want any of this stuff. So it's like, hey, no problem. I just want it removed. But if we make a couple of bucks on it, then, hey, maybe I'll make some of my money back that I'm paying her, because obviously you're paying a little bit more than you need to by doing these different extra things to give the seller a little extra money and to help them out and to pay it forward, to put it into the bank of good, which is always a great thing and a great feeling, by the way. But I thought that was pretty cool. It was fun doing stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and see. So we're at 18 minutes. I'll go ahead and share a couple of things with you. I'm going to go ahead and move this right here. And then what do we got? So we're going to go with this. So obviously it's an awesome feeling when that happens. And it could be within the next 3 weeks. It could be next 4 weeks. Shit, it could be 60 days, 90 days. Heck, it took me 4 months before I actually got my first, wholesale deal, or my first contract, or I should not say my first contract, my first paycheck, right? And yes, a contract, that means, yes, getting a contract to getting paid took about 4 months. For me, others that come aboard, sometimes it's 3 weeks, sometimes it's 2 weeks. They're talking to sellers within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, writing contracts within the second, third, fourth week. Just depends on how fast you're willing to move and how fast you're willing to learn, and you gobble up that information. The great thing about that is that the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator is a hybrid of our one-on-one mentoring program, where there's going to be some live mentoring, right? There's going to be some live coaching. We're going to analyze your deals and things of that nature. And at 6 p.m., I'm going to come back and we're going to go through everything as far as what you get inside of the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, the modules, the contracts, the agreements, the vault, everything. And then if you have any questions, you definitely be there. So you're definitely going to see it. It'll be in the feeds. It'll be probably, you might get some emails or text messages if you're in our little ecosystem to be able to respond back and just watch it. You don't want to miss it, simply because if you've ever wanted to get into real estate, if you ever want to get out of your JOB, if you've ever wanted to make money in real estate and be able to do the things and have that freedom that it gave me when I got started, right? And having the freedom to be able to say, hey, you know what, today, we're going to Arizona. What do you mean? Yeah, pack your stuff up. We're going to Arizona. We're going to a resort. and knock it out with a couple. Hey, it's a seminar / resort / what, entertainment. Jump in the car, we go, and having the freedom to be able to just do that at any time, because obviously you have a phone, laptop, and you can do this business anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. Had a young man at Disneyland write up an offer. Of course, I was busy doing stuff, and luckily, we trained him to the point where he's saying, yeah, put on your big boy pants and write the offer. Do what you got to do. Oh, they didn't sign. Well, do what you got to do to get them to sign, right? And I'll be right there. But I was occupied with my family as well. But end up going back and telling what needed to be done. And then when he got it done, and within 20 minutes, got the thing signed and moved on. And that's just from that happens all the time, right? So it's part of the business. It's exciting. It's fun. And you're helping other people and you're making money at the same time, right? So this business is a little different than the traditional real estate stuff and listings. Even when you have a listing, right, you're not there all the time. You're on your phone, right? You're doing a deal from your laptop. You can be in Cancun working your business, right? You can be anywhere, right? At the end of the day, I remember other times we go to Big Bear, right? Because I like to go to Big Bear for a vacation with the family, and up in the mountains. Sometimes the internet's spotty, right? So it's spotty. And they're like, shit, this is not working. I got to get down below because I got to get this thing signed and closed up. I literally would have to, and then sometimes it'd be snowing, and sometimes it's, other times it's okay. But I had to go from the top of the mountain or just, down a little bit, down into the Big Bear, city, and then go into the parking lot of Stater Brothers or Vons, and then boom, break out the laptop and make some phone calls and get a deal done, right? And then go back up and spend time with the family. So those things are what people want. That's what people are going after. That's what you want. I guarantee it, right? Because I can tell that most people, because I talk to thousands of people every year, and it's the same story over and over, right? I'm sick of my job, sick of this, sick of whatever's happening, and I just want to do real estate. I want to make some money. I want to have some freedom. I want to build a legacy for my family, right? And just want to do something different. And some people love houses too, right? Oh, I love houses. I love the way they look, love the way they smell, which is kind of weird, but I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. All right, check this out. So we're going to keep on moving here, but I'm not going to go over the whole value stack, okay, of what you're going to get inside the AmpLive Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, because it's going to be a little bit longer of a call. Our live meeting, right? Obviously the price anchor and that I'm going to share with you, right? So, what does it all really cost right now? 25,000, no, 10,000, no, 5,000, no. And trust me, like I mentioned yesterday or the day before, you can get SubTo and spend 10, 12,000 bucks. There's been programs that are 30, 40, 50, and $75,000 programs, right? That are not going to deliver what we're going to deliver. And the reason I know that, because I know that for a fact, because we get people from other programs. And we also have heard the horror stories of spending that amount of money and still spinning their wheels for 7 months, 8 months, a year and a half, and still nothing, no deals, nothing to show for it. And then coming aboard and working with us, and within 2, 3, 4 weeks, contracts, talking to sellers, writing offers, and getting things accepted and closing deals. That is the power of AmpLive and the AmpLive Accelerator program, the American Mentee program, and yes. The reason why all those things happen is because of AHA, Americans Helping Americans, right? That is the basis of everything here is AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and obviously myself, Erick Jimenez, because obviously I'm one of the founders of AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and the mission's still the same, right? One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. Obviously, we're doing some changing and not rebranding. But, and even then, there's some things that I'm thinking about and what we're thinking about and going, hey, you know what, we're going to have to adjust and adapt in this market, right? With the people. I know, look, people, it's going to happen when the markets start getting tighter and tighter, when jobs start getting tighter and tighter, interest rates, credit cards, working 2 or 3 jobs, been there, done that, is going to start happening. And you're going to be going, man, I need to do something, right? I need to get out of this. What am I going to do? How do I get out of this? Well, it's going to be real estate, right? It's going to be a nice juicy deal. Maybe if you do a juicy deal every quarter, right? Maybe you do 1 or 2 a month. Maybe it's 1 a month. It doesn't matter. It definitely is going to change your life, and it's going to change the way you think. Simply because they're bigger chunks of cash, right? 15, 20, 25, 30,000 for a wholesale deal. Fix and flip 35 to 55 to 100, 150,000. A buy and hold is where you make, obviously, that's your residual. That's actually not even residual. It's passive income, right? and it's an asset that someone lives in that's going to be paying down your mortgage for you, right? And the tax deductions and everything else that comes with a piece of real estate are all pluses, right? Way better than the stock market. Now, you can play the stock market, but not going to win. You have to play the long game for the stock market as well as real estate. You play the long game, and until that asset's paid down, now you get yourself a bank of gold, do whatever you want, refi it out, put them all together, resell them, and move them on to something bigger. Maybe it's commercial, multifamily, or anchor stores, anchor property, like, places where they have AutoZones and all that good stuff, Albertsons and Walmarts. But Walmart owns their own shit, so probably you won't get any Walmart love there, right? Because they own everything, even the land, just like Mickey D's. Okay, but let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up real quick. What I wanted to share or finish up those rants, right? And I believe there's about 10 of them here. I already started off in the beginning of this live. Where the amplify. Oh, let me see. Make sure I got this. Is this here? Is this showing? Okay, good. Cool. Make sure we're good. Okay, about 4 more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap. I'm going to stick to the amount of time that we have. But it's super important. I'm going to share some of these. So Amp Live Sunday sermon is a little bit different with the rants and raves. We got a little bit organized here because I got some canned stuff that I want to share with you because I think it's super important. At the same token, yes, it's straight from the heart. Nothing. It's not scripted. Some of the stuff is scripted, but at the end of the day, it all means the same thing: is that we are bringing the American Mentee program to you, the Amp Live Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator to you. And I'm going to go ahead. It's already in the chat. It's also down below in the post. So at midnight, it's gone. So $1,997, pennies on the dollar. It's an opportunity for you to actually start making some money and changing your life, because I guarantee you it's going to change your life. It's changed my life in regards to doing this business, right? And I didn't think I'd be able to do it. Other people probably didn't think I'd be able to do it. I know friends and family didn't think I'd be able to do it. But there's ups and downs and everything. That's life. But I know that once you get the bug, it's never going to go away, and you're going to stick with it. But the beautiful thing is that you're not by yourself, right? Not by yourself trying to figure out this puzzle without looking at the picture, right? We're going to turn that box around. You can look at the picture. We're going to put the pieces together, and then we're going to put that puzzle together and get you up and rocking and rolling, help you build a sustainable business that you can have in your life and be able to do the things that you've always wanted to do in your life. But the AHA mission rant is why we are Americans helping Americans. Obviously, stop watching other people win. Now, I did talk a little bit about your debt is not your destiny. Bad credit is not life sentence. And I know when I got started, it's like, shit, I don't need no damn bank, right? I don't even need any credit. I don't need shit from anybody at the end of the day, because I can still go in here and take over these properties subject to existing financing and take a contract and sell it off to an investor. As long as I know I got those bags of gold and framing those contracts, framing it in my mind that contracts and clauses are awesome and beautiful and make me money are the same things that I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to go off of a script here a little bit because I just feel that I need to. I'm also going to say your debt's not. Oh, I did say that. Bad credit is not your life sentence. Midnight, obviously. What decision will future you? I don't know what the fuck that means. Will future you? Thank you for whatever. That's some fucking tongue twister there. All right. You cannot harvest what you never plant. Free information has a hidden cost. Blah blah blah. That's true, because free is shit and shit is free at the end of the day. But this is practically free. $1,997. It's a $12,997 program, especially what we're going to be delivering to you and with you. It's a no-brainer. It's an opportunity. And some people will see those opportunities. Yes, I've shit-canned opportunities in the past. And you look back and you go, man, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But I did. Right? And you got to pay for it. And then there's other opportunities when you're prepared. I was having that conversation earlier. When you're prepared for something, and then opportunity comes, then you take advantage of it because you are prepared. That's what some people like to call luck. Oh, you just got lucky. You got lucky. No, it's being prepared for that luck. Luck happens, but just being prepared for that luck is the difference between one person who moves forward and the other person that doesn't. The one that's not prepared for that and prepared for that opportunity, well, they blow it and they don't move forward because they sucked and they weren't prepared. I say be prepared and then move forward when opportunity comes. Then that gold, or whatever you want to call it, luck, so-called luck. So, you're prepared for that luck and you're able to absorb that luck, and it'll take you to a different level. That's the difference between one and the other. I also say that, I didn't luck myself into Harvard. I didn't luck myself into Yale or anything like that. I lucked myself into creative real estate investing is what happened. And I was at the right place, right time, met the right people. And I was also I worked very hard. It took me 16 months to put my whole system together, to put the websites together, to put the verbiage together. What contracts do I want to use? What logos do I want to use? What branding do I want to use? What's going to go on my website? Do I use one website, two websites, three websites? What's going to happen? Am I going to use landing pages? Do I want to go with quality over quantity? Now, I'm not going to overwhelm you, but I'm just saying that's how it could be. I'm sure that's how you feel when you're trying to get this business going. Well, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. Shiny object, shiny object. Do I use this CRM? Do I use this type of skip tracing? What the hell is skip tracing? All that good stuff. You have to worry about any of that. Simply because we're going to help you with all that. We're going to help you get set up in the business. Most important part is, like I shared with you earlier, is cashing that check, right? Doesn't matter how long it takes. It's not a freaking race. We're going to go as fast or as slow as you need to go to make sure that, and I won't let you move forward unless you understand the concept, because otherwise you're just going to get frustrated and you're going to fail. I guarantee it. Most people do, and it's like me taking on this internet marketing shit, right? And rolling out this one-to-many program, right? It's a pain in the ass. I don't like to be, I'm not going to lie. Maybe I am an introvert, but I also like to be out, and I like people, and I like negotiating. I like interaction, right? Obviously you can tell I like to talk. I like to speak. And that's the I guess people, I call it a gift. Other people may call it a curse, right? But at the end of the day, it's what gets me to where I want to get to when I need to get there. Even when people saying, hey, yeah, good luck, they're hoping that you're going to fail, but you don't, right? Always get the last word. Be the one who's going to be laughing all the way to the bank at the end of the day. That's how that works, right? But of course, if you give up, then it's not going to happen, right? And time is what it is. Time is precious. Can't get it back. It sucks, but you either put in the time and keep on rolling until you get what you need to get, and until you get to where you want to get to, your destination, or you don't put in the time and you get what you get right there, right then, all the time. Nothing's ever going to change. I get that. Or you should get that as well. But that's where we're going to help you. We're going to help you with that, right? We're going to help you become accountable for showing up to the party, getting stuff done, interacting, executing. When you execute, you see results. And when you see results, it subconsciously triggers something in your mind, just like riding a bike. And then you're going to move forward, do it again. You're going to go, oh, get your aha moments. You go, I can really do this. Shit, I'm really doing it. This is awesome. You're going to get fired up. You're going to get motivated. And then there's going to be times when you're like, oh, my God, you're all frustrated. I don't know about this. The seller said that. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. So what? That's part of the journey. It's part of the jam, right? It's kind of like, was it Walk Hard, right? Right? That last song with, what is it, Lil Nutsack and what's his name? Walk Hard Dude or whatever, whatever the hell that was called with that movie. But it's a funny movie. It's called Walk Hard. The Journey. I forgot the end. I forgot the song. I forgot what it was called, right? Anyways. There's a cool song at the end. It's about the journey, right? And then I guess after he sang it, I'm going off script here, right? But they called him, they put him together, do this like last fucking thing to say, hey, thank you, you're a great artist, like some type of an award or something like that or whatever to honor him. And then it was about just singing that song that he came up with. And then I guess at the end, he showed him 3 months later, I guess he died, right? So he was done. His journey was toast. But in this journey that we're going to be working together, right, it's moving forward, getting stuff done and cashing those checks, right? And it's more than just cashing the checks, because there's a reward with the seller. You're doing something for a seller that nobody's fucking doing for them, right? Family, other people didn't come to the table, the banks, well, they don't care. And then you're going to make some money off of that, and then you're going to help your family. You're putting the house back on the books is good, whether you buy it, fix it, and flip it. So then you're taking care of the city. You're putting people to work. You're doing a lot of things that other people don't have access to or not going to do because they have a job or a job. That is their jam. They wake up, they go to work, they come home, they do that 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Some people got to do it 7 days a week. I get it. And then, live for the weekends and all that good stuff. That's cool. And I guess, for me, that's just not my jam. I thought that was going to be my jam. That's what I thought what I needed to do. And that's what I was supposed to do. And was supposed to, have the corporate job and, get my 250 and send the kids to, to college and have a picket fence in the cars and then have a, little happy marriage and all that shit. Right. But, but working, and the straw that broke the camel's back for me, watch, I'm going to wrap this up, right, was my boss. And maybe you heard the story, maybe you didn't, right? But 22 hours of working, and then my boss says, go home and then come back. I need you back a couple hours. I said, man, I already worked 22 fucking hours. You know what I mean? And you want me to go home and take a shower, and then, stand up like a horse and take a nap, eat some cereal and come back or something, right? He said, yeah, that's exactly what I need you to do. Cause you know what you signed up to do, man. You're in management. That's what it is. You're on salary. I need you here, or, don't come in. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I got all kinds of kind words for that sonbuck. Right. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I did. And I started thinking, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. If I'm already working 80, 90 hours, this shit's going to kill me. I'm going to die and I'm not going to be happy. And then so I'm going to, I got to do something else. And that's real estate kept coming back into my life, just like you. And it's probably happened to you. And you get on the horse, get off the horse, get on the horse, training, studying, and all this good stuff. And then not doing shit about it, right? Just dreaming about it. But you're probably going, well, no, I'm putting in the work. No, you're not. Maybe you're putting in the work, but you're not putting in the right work, because you can do a lot of the same shit and it can be wrong and don't get anywhere. I know. I've done that. I do it like with internet marketing, spinning my wheels. What's the key? Do this, do that, upsell, downsell. That's a new journey for me. I'm not going to lie. Right. And I may be doing this whole thing wrong at the end of the day for one to many and rolling this program out. I don't give a shit. But the bottom line is I'm going to figure it out. Just like I figured out real estate, just like I figured out creative real estate investing. And I'm going to share that with you. So that is my superpower that I'm going to share with you. It's going to become your superpower. And that's the beauty. This is the most greatest thing that I'm going to share with you, is that no one can take that away, right? Only 1 to 3% really understand and know how to do creative real estate investing correctly, seller finance, SubTo, and all that good stuff. But we're going to specialize in SubTo. You're going to learn wholesaling. We'll share lease options and rent to own. We're going to share the creator of SubTo, subject to existing financing, which is one of the most powerful leveraging mechanisms that you can use in real estate. Not to mention, we put the properties into a trust for legal and tax purposes. And I don't even share this with others yet, but we do things a little bit differently, where we'll put the property into trust for legal and tax purposes. And then we do things where we're able to draft and put stuff together in a certain way and put it together to the point where others usually don't do. I guarantee you they don't. Some do. But we'll even take it further, which I'm not going to reveal, but there's an extra bonus I'm going to share with you that probably most people don't do. And, and it'll literally save thousands and thousands of dollars. Plus, at the same token, you become badass at it. And, and I'll just leave it at that, right? I'm not going to reveal it right now and share it with anybody, but definitely reach out, touch bases with me, and we'll get together. I'm pretty sure we're up here on past 30 minutes, because I got into some stories there. Yep, 37. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Definitely go back here in the Amp Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. You can scan that. I'm not going to give you a bunch of slides and all that good stuff. So there it is. Midnight, it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. It'll be gone forever, because I'm never going to do this shit again. At the end of the day, for the 1997, the founders are already set. So there's proof that we already got people going in there. So it's founders are set. Whatever charter members are get in there by midnight, we're good to go. And then obviously we do need our 5 and we'll continue to do that with the American Mentee program. So that's 5 rock and rollers that want to get mentored and want to get mentored with the Done With You, Done For You program. After this is done by midnight, boom, yep, I'll be back. I'm going to be back with the American Mentee program, because that's what we're going to be filling up for the second quarter. And June and July is all about deals. So yeah, people want to see deals and money and all that good stuff. I'm going to reveal who's been rocking and rolling, who's got contracts, who's been closing stuff. We'll do that in June. Obviously, that's going to be around the corner, right? Because it's already freaking 31st, by the way. I'm pretty sure that today, whether you're barbecuing or hanging out with family or, playing video games or board games or eating dinner or went to church and all that good stuff, awesome. Some people say it's a day of rest and they take Sunday off. I get that. That's cool. Others are like, no, I just take Saturday and Sunday because, hey, I work 5 days a week and that's my weekend. So people live for weekends, and others, live for other things, right? But when I will say this, when you're rocking and rolling and you're enjoying your Saturday and Sunday, there's somebody else that's rocking on a Sunday, calling your leads, working your leads, getting your deals, and then you're not. Okay, and you're gonna have to do what you got to do in the beginning, right? To be able to get that business, right? Now I'm not saying you got to work every Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to say, hey, you need to do what you need to do, follow directions, have a leap of faith, and we'll rock together, right? Because some deals, yeah, people are going to be off on a Sunday. Would you rather make 5, 10, 15, 20,000 bucks or have a barbecue, right? You can skip a barbecue or two, right? Church, I get it. You got to go to church, you got to do your stuff, right? So like for me, I'm a God-driven man. Obviously, I believe in God. It's my higher power. I'm not a holy roller, but at the end of the day, that's what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps my integrity, loyalty in place. Communication can break down because we all got families and stuff, right? At the same token, yes, I am an American patriot. Call it whatever you want, but that's me. I believe in America. I am all for America. I believe in the American dream. And that's the thing here. So talk about that earlier too. It's like, you know, when you're thinking, oh man, there's inflation, the cereal's this high. Yeah, am I pissed off that gas is so high? Am I pissed off that, you know, my box of cornflakes got smaller? And like, this is not freaking Russia, right? Or you know, what the hell's going on, right? We got this, you know, the packages getting smaller and smaller, and Doritos smaller and smaller, going from $5 to $6, $7 for a bag of death at the end of the day. It sucks, right? But if you're rocking and rolling, you're doing real estate, you're not really, you know what, then you're like, hey, I just got to make more money so I can sustain, so I can do what I need to do my deals, buy some properties, and continue to move forward, not worry about, you know, the economy. Because if you're doing that, you're not going to worry about the economy, because you're not in that, I guess, in that game, right? Or in that square, as a square peg, round peg, whatever, you know, however you want to use it metaphorically. But like I said, that's the beauty of being able to say, hey, I'm going to get up and we're going. Hey, where are we going today? Oh, we're going to go to New York. We're going to go to Arizona. We're going to go, hey, we're just going to go hang out for the day. You know what I mean? Do whatever you want to do, because you can. Now, for me, obviously, if I have appointments, it's okay. You can still go out, still bail, still split. But then, hey, I got appointments. I'll take an appointment. You know how many times I close a mentee and onboard a mentee and talk to somebody and say, hey, yeah, we're no problem. Let's go. You know, and let's get you going, rocking, and I'll be either at a family function, or maybe I'm on another appointment, or maybe I'm driving somewhere, or I'm with the family. It doesn't matter, right? Because they got the laptop, got the phone. If the appointment is set, then we keep the appointment, period. You know, now if you're going to a property, that's different, right? You got to be in the area, so you can't leave, you know, the area, and then unless you're going to, you know, lock up the property online. And even then, I've done that, right? I'll be in a different location, or be on vacation. I'm working with a mentee, and they're on the phone with a seller, and we got to lock up the contract. And I get on the horn with the seller and with the mentee, and boom, I do my thing. We go ahead and get it locked up. Boom, you know how to do the contracts, Mr. and Mrs. Mentee. Write them all up, send them back. Let me verify, make sure everything's good. Is it correct? Cool. Change this, add this, do that. And boom, send it back, get it signed, and go, hey, congratulations, rock and roll. Let's go get paid now. And then my job is done. I go and, you know, do whatever I'm doing. So that's the beauty of what I do, and beauty of what you do, and what you're going to be doing. And if you even like doing that stuff, then, hey, maybe you might want to be a coach or a mentor for us in the future, right? Because we're obviously going to have the AHA certification for our American Mentee program, obviously, and Americans Helping Americans. We're certified and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, I've always got stuff that's dropping and coming down the wire. And it's only going to benefit you and others throughout the United States of America. That is the whole purpose for AHA, Americans Help Americans. And, of course, Amp Live was born around 2016, 2018, somewhere around there. Amp Live, or I should say Amp Live Media, which is a media broadcasting and marketing company, right? But obviously, I am one of the founders, Erick Jimenez, and you know, the brainchild behind all this good stuff. And that's why I'm here to connect with you. Hopefully, we can connect. Definitely like, love, and share. I appreciate you at the end of the day. And I'll continue to do this until I decide I don't want to talk to nobody. No, you know what? Forget it. I don't want to be on these videos anymore. I don't want to share anything with anybody, because I'm not going to lie. When I started this business 2003, 4, 5, and 6, you know, I didn't share shit with anybody. You come to my office, you get no contracts, no agreements. Your job is to be in there to make the phone calls. No, there's no contracts on the computers, nothing in the drawers. So you're here to just do a certain job. And I kept everything wrapped up under lock and key, so to speak, right? So people couldn't try to reverse engineer what the hell I was doing, because I was the greatest game in that area. Now everywhere I go, which is a lot different now, because now we're all over the United States of America, thanks to mentees. Thank you, all past, present, and future mentees of America, which makes it awesome, because it's almost like me being in Texas, because I got a mentee and we're working together, but it's reciprocal, and we're working together to help each other's families, right? So when it's not just one mentee, it's one mentee, but one family, right? So there's one mentee as a family. So we're doing our part, and I enjoy that, and I like that right now. So far, we're doing good, right? Unless people just start getting crazy and crazier, I should say, in this world, and don't appreciate this, don't appreciate that, or it just becomes too much of a pain in the ass, then I'm not going to mess with it. I'll just scrap it and go back to saying, hey, this is going to do for our family, and F everybody else at the end of the day. And just dig in like I did the first cycle, right? I didn't worry about training, coaching, just boom, dig in, deals, rock and roll, deals. I'm not gonna lie, around 2005 or 6, I go, you know what? There's a lot of people spinning their wheels. Shit, a lot of people were spending back then $50,000 at a seminar to learn how to do what? Fix and flip property, right? We weren't even pushing wholesaling, because nobody knew how to wholesale. Shit, I was wholesaling before it was even a thing, right? And I kept that under wraps. I didn't share that with people either, right? So how'd you do that? Oh, is that legal? Can you really do that? Yeah. Okay. hasta, sayonara. See you later. Take it easy. And but that's what we're going to share with you, right? So you're getting 20 years of experience that's going to come and rock and roll with you, kick some ass. As long as you show up to the party, you have integrity, you have loyalty, and some communication, and we can get along, then we'll rock. If not, that's okay, right? Because right now I'm at that point in time, maybe it's age or whatever. Or look, I don't got time to mess with a bunch of people with BS and drama and all kinds of other shit. Rock and roll, get in, let's rock, and go from there. I do have a lot of patience, so that's cool. But I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I don't need to. Shit, I don't even need to do this. I don't even need to take on people's money and do this in exchange for that, because it's a lost leader. Don't make money doing it. Right now, $1,997, it's a lost freaking leader, right? I'm not going to make money unless you do deals. So I got to put what? I got to put my money on the line to get you to hopefully and bank on you that you're going to rock and roll. And I know for a fact, not everybody's going to fucking make it. That's the truth there, right? So I'm just trying to share with you, hey, I don't got to say anything at the end of the day. You either see the value or you don't. Once you go out there, you know how many people say, oh, I should have joined. I would have joined you 3 years ago. No, you wouldn't. You're too tight. You're stingy. You're stubborn, and you didn't want to do anything. And that's why you spent 3 years of spinning your freaking wheels. And now you're going, shit, I need this. I need exactly what you have, because nobody had that back then. Or yes, that was us, right? But you didn't come aboard, or you didn't know about us at the end of the day. So I get it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I'm tired of yapping. I'm going to go ahead and drink my coffee, get something to eat. I'll be back at 6 p.m. We're going to dig into the Amp Lab Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. So it's the opportunity of a freaking lifetime. There's no bullshit, and I'm leaving it open till midnight. After that, I'm going to shut it down, close it down, and then obviously we're going into June and July for deals. Definitely we'll share the results of the people that did rock, and it'll just show that, hey, I didn't come aboard. And look at all these people that are making money. Shit, I should have came aboard, and you didn't. That's the bottom line. It's the same thing like on our A-list, right? And I'll leave it at this. We get deals, rock them down the wire. I'm going to qualify a buyer. Boom, here we go. I'm going to send you 3 deals, Mr. Buyer Investor, and it's going to be in your buying criteria because we vetted you and everything's good, and we papered up. NC&D, confidentiality agreement, everything. Boom, you signed it. We're good to go. And now I'm going to send you your first deal. If you buy it, awesome. I'll keep you on the A-list. I'll send you a second deal and a third deal. If we go to 3 deals and you don't buy any of my deals, it's the truth. Look, it's like the second page of Google. It's like, I'm not going to send you any more deals, right? No more deals for you. How you get back on the list, I don't know. I don't really care. I want the people that are going to write a check within 24 to 72 hours of when I send those to you. Oh, well, just send them to me exclusively. No, if you're a VIP buyer and we qualified you and we know you have the money, then great, let's rock and roll. Right. And it's whoever writes the check. You know how many people said, oh, yeah, would you sell that deal? Yeah, it's gone. No, you didn't. Okay, well, I guess you'll see so-and-so on title in about 30 days. Oh, you did sell it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not bullshitting. You got no time to bullshit you. You either write the check or you don't. You want the deal or you don't. I know what we have. We know what we have. And that's what I'm going to share with you, that you will know what you have. When you got a bag of gold and you know you're going to make $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more, guarantee it, right? You can what? You can make those decisions. You can have the upper hand. A lot of people say, oh, he or she who has the money makes the rules. No, it's bullshit. He or she who has the deal makes the rules. Because there's good money and there's bad money. If you're an asshole, I'm not going to sell you the deal. I'll sell it to someone else who appreciates it, is going to love it. Or at the same token, yeah, well, no, this is business. Yeah, well, you know what? You write a check, I'll sell it to you. And we'll go from there, right? But if if you don't buy the first deal, second deal, third deal, I know you're full of shit. And even if you do got the money, it just means you analyze shit too much. I don't got time for that. I'm not going to wait and play that game. No, you either write a check, let's go, let's roll. It's the same thing here. You either jump on for $1,997 or it's going to be $12,997 by midnight, 12:01, and it's done. I'll never do this again, right? Period. Now, obviously, it's going to go to $12,997. You can pay that if you like, if you want to come aboard when you're able to. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, I'm going to raise the money. I'm going to do this. No, you're not. I'm not going to do shit. It's just the way it goes, right? But we're here to help you out, okay? So I'm going to drink me some more coffee, so I'll be fired up and wired up. My eyes will be bulging out. I'm just kidding. Right, at 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. is going to be awesome. Let's dig in. I'm going to share all kinds of awesome stuff with you. I'm going to coach you and train and preach for about an hour and a freaking half. I know I do go that long sometimes, not on purpose, but, or sometimes by accident. But this is going to be on purpose. So make sure you're there 6 p.m. tonight for the Sunday Rants and Raves. And, yeah, I'm raising my voice because I'm excited, and I know what this is going to do for you. For me, yeah, it's going to make us money. It's going to make me money. If you come aboard and you show up to the party, You take action, you punch your way out of a paper bag, you execute, and you're going to get results. You may not know, well, what do I do? What do I do? Well, it's okay. We're going to rock with you. I'm going to show you what to do. We're going to do this together. And that's where we're going to make our money at the end of the day, right? Is doing deals with you or not. If you want to just do it and go for it and got it figured out, say no problem. No harm, no foul, right? You can do whatever you want because this is the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. It's for $1,900. It's not our one-on-one mentoring program. You want to partner up, do deals, and solidify that stuff and put it in writing, then yeah, that's the American Mentee program. And we can talk about that. I don't even got any links down below because I don't know I'm going to mess with it, but there's that link right there. You got a link for the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Go there. You're going to learn something that only 1 to 3% of American investors know how to do, and I'm going to share that with you, meaning you're going to be able to share that with your family by bringing income and deals to the table, and all that other good stuff, right? So definitely look forward to talking with you and chatting with you, and if we got to do some Q&A, but definitely